Namaste children. Now coming to the next chapter, that is fiber to fabric. What are fibers? We will be seeing in the continuation of the lesson. Now fibers are divided into two main categories, that is natural and artificial. Natural are that is obtained from nature, that is mainly plants and animals. So these are producing these fibers. So these are called as natural fibers, and plants and animals are called as sources because they are producing. So for example, plant fibers are cotton, jute, coir, flax, linen, flax or linen, etc. Coming to artificial are man-made. The source is chemicals, that is petroleum products. Mainly petroleum products or other chemicals we will be using to make. So those are called as synthetic fibers. For example, nylon and polyester. Then, now what is fiber? A thin strand, hair-like structure which is obtained from all these either petrochemicals or chemicals or cotton, jute or flax, coir or wool or silk is called as fiber. These are the very thin strands. These are called as fibers. These are called as fibers, very thin strands. You observe carefully. These are the very thin strands, hair-like structures. These are cotton fibers. See, removing fiber and seed, separating seed from cotton. See, seed is removed. Like this, removing seeds from cotton fibers, separation of cotton fibers from the seed. This process is called as ginning. After ginning, what they will do? They will be make soft like this together, and they will be combing. This process is strands all. These are hair-like structures, fibers. These will be removed. These are hair-like structures, fibers. These are all fibers. Removing this fiber from the seeds, separating like this seed and fiber is called as ginning. Now after that, making soft like this and all the strands together putting, that is called as combing. Then what they will do, then pulling out like this and twisting and making like this thread, like it is called as spinning. See, the threads are forming. This thread is nothing but it is called as yarn. So this is hand spinning. So for this we will be using different machines. This is hand spinning. Now I made from this, see, like twisting and making thread from the fiber. This is called as spinning. See how the thread is forming. Now after making like this so many threads, they will put two sets of threads together, and they will be using weaving machines which are called as looms, and they will make the cloth, that is called as weaving. So arranging two sets of threads like this, different colors after dyeing, and together like this arranging, and in the looms they will be passing to make a fabric. Fabric means cloth. Yarn is thread. This is yarn. Single hair-like structure is fiber. Now, coming to the definition, what is fiber? Thin hair-like structure of cotton or wool or coir or jute is called as fiber. Then, in cotton, separating the seeds and fiber, is called as ginning. After ginning, all they will keep aside and they will be doing combing to make it soften and make into unique. Then after that, they will do yarns by hand, as in the video shown by hand. That is one method. Other methods Mahatma Gandhiji used for khadi making, that is called as charka, otherwise spindle. Nowadays new machines also came for spinning. That is nothing but making threads from yarn, means thread from the fiber is called as spinning. Next, after spinning, arranging two to three sets of 5 yarns together and they will make a cloth. Cloth is nothing but fabric. Fabric is cloth. This process is known as weaving. So, from fiber to go to the fabric, you have to undergo all these methods. First, you need to collect the ripened fruit of cotton, and that is picking. Then you have to do the ginning process, that is separate the seed and fiber. Next, you have to do the spinning process, that is in between combing, soften the fiber obtained. Then spinning process, that is making that into thread. Then you have to go for the looms. In the looms, the weaving process, that is arranging 2 sets of yarn together and make a cloth, that is fabric. So, in between spinning and weaving, sometimes dyeing of the thread also will be there, that is coloring. Coloring, dye means dye, dye means coloring the threads and making different colors, sets, and they will make the cloth. So, spinning is done by nowadays by machines, but if hand looms, weaving will be done by spinning, spindle, charaka, or by hand they will spin. And combing, wooden comb like structures will be there for softening, and by handing or machines also nowadays they are using to separate the seeds, ginning also. Then weaving also, advanced machines also came. Now handlooms means they will be in villages still. Khadi people, handloom people, Pochampalli they are there still weaving the people. Coming to fiber to fabric. What is fiber? We discussed. It is a long thin strand or thread of material, hair-like structure, which is obtained from the sources, either animal or a plant. It is called as fiber. Now, fabric meaning is cloth. It's a material made by either weaving or knitting. Usually weaving for the fabric and knitting in usually woolen cloths or sweaters, caps, socks. This is knitting process. It will go together. Weaving. Fabric material will be by 2 methods, that is weaving and knitting. Now coming to examples of natural fibers are cotton, fur of animals, silk, wool, linen, jute also come as one of the natural fibers. These are all examples which are obtained from plants and animals. So they are called as the sources of natural fibers. Now some fibers are made by man. They are called as man-made fibers or artificial fibers. Man-made fibers are otherwise known as artificial fibers or synthetic fibers. They are usually the source will be chemicals, petrochemicals, petroleum products, Examples are nylon, rayon, polyester and acrylic. One of the material, chemical material which will be used for making fabric. Now the picture is showing over there the plant and animal fibers that are cotton from cotton plant, linen from flax plants, wool from the sheep, silk from silkworms. So this is cotton. Next is linen. Then comes wool. Then is silk. Next, coming to the classification of fibers. When you observe, fibers are broadly classified into two. One is natural fibers, then other one is synthetic fibers. Natural fibers are, the sources are plant and animal. Plant fibers, example cotton and jute. Animal fibers, wool and silk. Coming to synthetic fibers, example nylon and rayon. Coming to types of natural fibers. First one, cotton, the pictures here. Then this is the flax, that is linen. Next is jute. Next, hemp. Next is coconut coir. Then even banana also you will be getting fiber. Then coming to the types of natural fibers which will be obtained from animals, wool, sheep, goat, hemps, camel. These are all some example from where you will. Angora is one kind of sheep only. Angoras and even rabbit also, rabbit wool also they will be using. These are the pictures from where the natural fibers we will be obtaining and processing. Next, coming to, see, a long thread is called as fiber. In this, so many small hair like structures will be present, that is called as fibers. Yarn is meaning is thread. Like this we will be making the thread, strong threads from the fibers. Then coming to fabric is nothing but it is a cloth. Now these are the cotton fibers making into yarn, then into cloth. Next, coming to what are fabrics? See, pieces of cloth used for making clothes is called as fabric. These are the pieces of cloth which will be used to make the cloths is fabric. Now yarn, fabrics and clothes. Next, coming to, see, again I have given fiber, picture, yarn, then fabric, then cloth. This is, see these pictures down and you have to tell here what are natural, what are synthetic. Now if it is natural, from where it is obtained? These four. Think a while. Yes, you are right. The first two are from cotton. This is cotton cloth. This is also cotton. Next is wool. Next is, this is coir. This is acrylic, synthetic. This is. Next, now see how natural fibers are obtained from natural sources. Those are plants and animals. Again, pictorial classification this is called. Cotton example and jute plant. Then animals, for example sheep and goat. Synthetic fibers are man-made. In the pictorial form again I have given. That is made in the laboratories, like how in the factories. Then for example these are polyester fiber, nylon fiber, acrylic fiber. Next, coming to Semi-synthetic fibers. What are semi-synthetic fibers? Both synthetic as well as plant material mixed. So that is blending. Blending of natural fiber and chemical is called as a semi-synthetic fiber. For example, rayon is a semi-synthetic fiber. Same way, artificial wool also a synthetic, semi-synthetic fiber. The first man-made semi-synthetic fiber is rayon. Now, see, these are the yarns of a cloth. Then from there, the yarn she is removing. Then from that, the fiber. See how the strands, fiber strands. These are the fiber strands. Opening the from the yarn. Next, coming to how to make yarn. Now, first they will be, this picture is showing they will be collecting the ripened fruit of cotton from the field. Then this picture, the diagonal, this picture, see, this man is removing the fiber from the seed, separating fiber from the seed. Here in the machine it is done. This process is called as ginning. Then here, after ginning by hand, this is made into yarn. Here spindle also she used, spindle, and here machine they used. So spinning, that is fiber making into thread. Next, clipping the fabric. Fabric means after making yarns, the fabric will be. Now this is already we have seen, from this they have removed yarn from fabric, the yarns separated, from their fibers to show. Now cotton, see, this is the cotton. After ginning, they will make this here the small fibers, hair-like structures, and by hand she is spinning so that yarn came out. That is the thread. The methods. This is spindle, hand spinning by using spindle, by using charka, or by using spinning machine. See, given 4 pictures. By hand, that is making fiber into thread, is called as spinning. The process of making yarn from fiber, that is fiber is converted into thread-like structure. It may be by hand or by spindle or by charka or spinning machines. Nowadays they are using to make the thread. Now next, coming to, after spinning, sets of threads, coloring they will do. This process of coloring of this is called as dyeing, D-Y-E, dye. Dye means color, coloring. Then they will do by looms. This is by looms. They will arrange the two sets of different colors, and see how this is the hand loom. By hands they will be doing hand loom. These are also hand loom machine only. This is by in villages they are still now also they will be doing this. This is called as weaving process. Weaving. Looms are used for, this is power loom machine, newly developed machines, these are all. Now next, coming to, now fabric is made of yarns, and yarn is made of many fibers that we have seen this picture. Then fibers are obtaining from plants and animals, and they are called as natural fibers, whereas these are synthesized using chemicals are called as synthetic fibers. See, here we are seeing cotton, jute, nylon, acrylic. So these are all synthetic. These are all fibers converted by the process of spinning. They will be converted into yarns, and yarns are converted into fabric by weaving process. These are weaving also of 2 types. One is this hand using machines. Then another is knitting. How using by hand also knitting. Knitting process can be done also by machines. Usually wool material will be knitted. Now this is knitting. So this is weaving process. Weaving is nothing but arranging two sets of yarns and interlocking them. That is called as to get a fabric. That is called as weaving. Knitting is interlooping. Here interlocking. Here interlooping of one set or more sets of yarns to get a fabric. Either woolen coat or woolen sweater or socks. This may be by hand or by machines also.
Making of fabric from yarn. Children, now let us know how fabric is made from yarn. Fabric is made by weaving and knitting the yarns. Let us know how they are made. See these mats or these bags. These are made by weaving the yarns. Weaving of fabric is done on looms. Looms are of two types: hand-operated looms and power-operated looms. Let us learn weaving. You also can make the mat with few thin ropes. Take few ropes of yellow and blue color. Weave the yellow and blue strips one by one as shown. Similarly, two sets of yarn are woven to make a fabric. Children, you may have the beautiful sweaters. Do you know how they are made? The sweaters are made by knitting. A single yarn is used to make a piece of fabric. Socks and many other clothing items are the knitted fabrics. Knitting is done by hands and also on machines. Summary. Let us summarize what we have learned. Fabric is made up of yarns arranged together. Thin strands of yarn are made up of still thinner strands called fibers. Fibers are of two types: natural fibers and artificial fibers. Cotton and jute fibers are obtained from cotton and jute plants respectively. Two steps of making fabric from fiber are: 1. Making of yarn from fiber. 2. Making of fabric from yarn.